Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Adrian, and thank you so much for joining me today. And we have some patch notes for the new Total War Warhammer Update 2 that is coming out with the Call of the Beastmen DLC that should be released in about 2 days. It's the 26th right now, and the Beastmen comes out on the 28th. So these are the new patch notes. They've changed around a few things. They have some new content for people who purchase the DLC, as well as people who purchase, or actually don't have to purchase anything. So they have some free content that comes with the patch, and they have some DLC content that comes with the Beastmen. So let's go ahead and take a look at the patch notes here. So a host of new free content is made available via this update, including the Empire Amber Wizard Hero, the Lore of Beasts. The Beastmen are going to be an AI opponent in the Grand Campaign. 4 new custom and multiplayer maps. Those are, to my knowledge, those should be free content. Those are totally free. You don't have to buy the Beastmen DLC for that content. Let's see. Sathoriel, the Ever-Chosen, the Chaos Lord of Change, are also now available as legendary lords in custom and multiplayer battles. So that's cool. So let's see here. For the factions, what they've changed up, the Chaos Warriors, they have a couple of, I think these are bug fixes usually. Let's take a look here. Anything important that I found? When AI-controlled Chaos Invasion event occurs, Norscan factions are no longer war among themselves. I didn't actually know if that happened at all anyway. I haven't really noticed it too much, but I guess that's been changed now. Let's take a look at here the greenskins. This one's interesting. The Orc Boy Big Guns unit now. The Orc Boy Big Guns. That's weird. Unit info now displays anti-large, since they are anti-large. I actually didn't know that they were, so that's kind of nice. Let's see. Savage Orcs now use more torso variants. That's kind of cool. Unit transfer fightiness bonus is now applied more consistently. Okay. And let's see. Army size for WOG armies will now display correctly in the campaign forces panel. Okay, I didn't notice that actually. Let's see. Dwarves. Dwarves now consistently raise their shields to protect from incoming projectiles, so that's cool. Gold sickness trait now restricted to dwarves only. I'm actually not sure what that is. Let's see here. Vampire counts. This one's kind of important. Blood Knights and Black Coach added to the Raised Dead pool. So you can now get Blood Knights and the Black Coach from the Raised Dead, so that's good. The tooltip has been improved so they can explain Raised Dead a little better. Anything else here? Anything important? This one's kind of weird. Updated the rallying battle mechanic to require units to have more than 0 leadership before they're able to rally. So I guess before they would rally when they had 0 leadership, which would make them like break and then like rally again and then break and then rally. So here, this requires a unit to have more than 0 leadership before they're going to rally. So I guess that doesn't happen as often. I'm not really sure. Camera mode now uses its standard camera setting when loading into a campaign quest battle. I'm not really sure what that is. I know that when you have a campaign quest battle, they do like a little overview of the map. So maybe the camera options were messing with the overview or something like that. Improved battle AI behavior when the entire army opposed army consists of a single lord. Okay, so I'm not really sure what that means. I think it's when they mean you have 1 lord and then the rest of the units are just regular units versus, say, having like 3 or 4 lords. So that's cool. This one's really nice. UI user interface scaling slider is now available to options to support high resolution 4K displays. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if anybody runs Total War Warhammer on 4K anyway. You'd probably have to have some SLI or something like that. So that's nice. I'm probably going to use UI scaling just because I know that the user interface can be quite large. Sorry about the little notification down there. Let's take a look at pressing the escape key whilst in cinematic mode will now exit cinematic mode. Okay, that's cool. Let's see, anything else? Not much there. So these are for some spells. I'll leave a link in the description for this page, so you guys can see these notes for yourself as well. Not much there. I think it's just spells and abilities and such. Edits to maps. They updated the burial mound of Grudznik map to fix an issue with inaccessible terrain. Collision areas cleaned on Karak Ungor. Let's see. Snow effects will now play at the maximum camera height on snowy battlefields. Okay. Not gonna lie, I think they should have turned down the snow effects. I think they should, because when you're playing on snowy battlefields, it's kind of hard to see things. So I hope this won't make the problem worse. So this one's kind of important actually. So for sieges, some characters and units now have a siege attacker trait. Armies containing such characters and units may attack a city immediately without building siege equipment. The following all bear this trait: Kolek Sun Eater, the Lord of Change, the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, the Gorbals, Siggers, Minotaurs, Bretonnian Field Trebuchets, Hell Cannons, Giants, Cannons, Flame Cannons, Grudge Throwers, Organ Guns, Great Cannons, Hell Blaster Volley Guns, Hellstorm Rocket Batteries, Mortars, the Luminarch of Hysh, Steam Tanks, Doomdiver Catapults, Goblin Rock Lobbers, the Ragnarok Spider, and the Vargals. So this means that when you approach a provincial settlement or a provincial capital, right, you usually have to invest and you have to siege it down, wear down the walls, wear down the garrison. But here, if you have troops with a siege attacker trait, you can actually initiate the battle immediately as soon as you get there. Sometimes this may not be favorable, but sometimes you want to do that. And if you have these either artillery units or these big monster units, you can actually break down gates, break down walls, and not have to use siege equipment. So you need to have one of these guys in there to be able to attack provincial capitals and things like that on upon arrival. Truthfully, these guys, all these units actually seem fairly common to me. These are just mostly artillery, right? So tier 2, tier 3 artillery. So that's kind of nice, I guess. If you have artillery in your armies, then you can just siege down something immediately. Let's see here. So improvements to sieging AI armies with artillery heavy composition. So usually, I think this means that the AI will try and have artillery heavy compositions when trying to siege down cities. So that's cool. Let's see here. That's about it for that there. Let's see. Diplomacy statistics now update correctly upon faction death and reemergence. Okay. Let's see here. Anything else? Horde factions that have been wiped out now have a cooldown period before they can respawn. That's pretty cool. So, like, I think this addresses the savage orc tribes. Excuse me. Usually the savage orcs, they just keep popping up and popping up. It's pretty annoying. So hopefully that'll help out with that. Cool. Confederation cooldown period now prevents Confederation effectively. Not sure what this is. I think they might have been some ways around the Confederation mechanic. I have not noticed anything, so maybe some other people have. Let's see, the user interface. Loading screens will now correctly display if the player launches a game by the continue campaign button on the launcher. I haven't noticed any problems either, so maybe somebody else has. User no longer gets a blood user interface layout for the blood events, even when I think actually this patch note is a typo. So if you turn off your blood effects, you're not going to get the blood UI layouts, right? Where it's all bloodied and there's like blood everywhere and stuff. If you disable your blood effects, you're not going to get those. You're going to get the clean user interface for events and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Nothing else there that I see. So this is for the AI. Oh, this is really nice. Improve the campaign AI to make it less inclined to send armies an extremely long distance away to attack hostile hordes. So that's nice. Multiplayer. Let's see here. So they're trying out something. It's kind of similar to like the avatar system in Shogun 2. You could customize your lord. They're doing this now in multiplayer. Unit ability spells and items can now be added and subtracted for lords and heroes in custom and multiplayer battles, right? So you can expand and kind of mess around and customize your characters if you like to micromanage them a lot. Each character has a base cost, which includes inherent attributes but not ability spells and items. And when an ability spell or item is added, the cost of the character increases. And there's a decaying cost of abilities when added, taking into account that the player can only cast and interact with one ability at a time. So I think the more abilities you stack, the cheaper they are. Obviously, because you have to take into account winds of magic and things like that. So they found that the more abilities you have, there's a decaying cost. So that's nice. If it's a legendary lord, then they're given relevant quest battle reward items. So that's pretty cool. Multiplayer quick battles will now always use large unit size. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Anything else in here? No, nothing there. Let's see. Tactical stuff. They're fixing up some DirectX 12 performance improvements and things like that. This is kind of nice. Multiple performance improvements for high spec systems with blood effects. That's nice. Honestly, I actually haven't noticed the game runs that bad anyway. I have a GTX 1070, so I think the game runs pretty good. But hopefully this will help out even more. And you know, a few more frames never hurts. Let's see here. Giblets will no longer appear in the low graphics preset with blood effects enabled. Okay. Call of the Beastmen theme added. That's nice. Water added to parchment maps for all campaigns. Okay. Let's see. They fixed some audio issues. Any other items here? Added money bag icons to make in-game purchasing easier. Buy it all you know you want to. Okay, so they did some here's for units. They did balancing. Some charge defense mass bonus increased. Dwarf mass increased. All artillery units firing arc increased or improved. All artillery units speed increased. Looks like all artillery units got turn speed has been increased. Maximum of 4 heroes in multiplayer battles. Wow, that's a lot. Lords and hero cost reduction in multiplayer. Okay. Decreased miscast explosion damage. Rebalance of units, abilities, and upgraded abilities. Basically, they tweaked a lot of units. So we're going to go down here. So for the dwarves, gyrocopter bomb damage increased. The gyro bombers have basically been buffed across the board. They have a reduced recruitment cost, and their damage has been increased. For slayers, they have decreased speed, decreased recruitment cost, and they've been buffed all across the board, except for the weapon damage. The weapon damage has been decreased. Flame cannons, looks like they were buffed. Decreased explosive base damage, but everything else went up, I think. Except for the recruitment cost too, that went down as well. Grudge throwers are now cheaper and they have better accuracy. Iron drakes are cheaper and they have across the board better speed and acceleration, firing arc. Quarrelers are cheaper. So now we're going to the Warriors of Chaos. Arcan, the Ever-Chosen, is actually cheaper to recruit now. Chosen have been buffed across the board. I don't know if I agree with some of these because they're already pretty beastly, but Chosen have been buffed. Chosen with great weapons were buffed. The Dragon Ogres, looks like their melee attack has been decreased, their defense has been increased, and they have increased health. Weapon strength includes anti-large damage. That's pretty cool. And then actually, they're not as armor-piercing as before. For Kolak, he's weaker as far as his weapon strength, and he doesn't have that good of a charge bonus. They decreased it. Let's see, Dragon Ogre Shaggoths. They're weaker as far as weapon strength, and reduced. They're cheaper, but they also have a decreased charge bonus. Chaos Knights have increased melee defense. I don't know if I agree with that one either. The Chaos Knights are beastly, but whatever. The Demogryph Knights with halberds have been nerfed. Let's see here. The General of the Empire looks like he's been nerfed as well. Steam tanks have been nerfed. Hellblaster volley guns increased range. They got buffed. Yeah, increased range for the volley guns and decreased recruitment cost. Hellstorm rocket batteries increased range but decreased accuracy, reload speed, and cost. So they're cheaper to recruit. That's kind of nice. For the greenskins, the rock lobber has increased range. I already think that they have pretty good range. The rock lobber in base actually has better range than Doomdiver catapult. It actually, to me, makes more sense to have rock lobbers all the time than any Doomdiver catapult. The thing is that the Doomdivers do have explosive damage, but the rock lobbers have armor piercing damage. So I don't know, take it as you will. The Doomdivers were actually made even more expensive. Night Goblins have increased leadership, so that's kind of nice. Trolls also have better leadership. Savage Orc Big Guns have decreased recruitment cost. The Boar Boys for Savage Orc Boar Boys are cheaper. The Orc War Boss is cheaper when he's on a Wyvern. Black Orcs are actually cheaper, which is pretty nice. Black Orcs, I think they're like 230 gold per turn, and I think it's like 1,000 to recruit one regiment, and they take 3 turns to recruit locally and 6 globally, so that's nice. The Ragnarok has decreased armor piercing damage. The Big Boss, Goblin Big Boss, all mount options have the encourage ability. That's pretty cool. The Vampire counts, the Blood Knights have had their speed decrease, so I guess they were too fast. Manfred von Karstein, looks like when he's on a mount, he's more expensive across the board. Graveguard have increased recruitment cost. And for Bretonia, the Grail Knights have increased melee defense, and the Trebuchet has increased range. And that's it. Those are all the patch notes. I will leave a link in the description for you guys. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and check it out. And I will see you soon. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.